In the streets hustling, what do you think was one of the craziest things you came across?
Oh man, it's the same story as everyone else, you know. Killings, fucking home invasions, this, and that. This is basic hood shit, you know.
Did
This
you ever
ain't
see anybody
nothing.
get shot or
Oh
anything?
man, I've seen people get killed since I was a little kid, dog. I think the first time I saw somebody get killed was, let me see, I think I was like in 5th grade, you gotta be like 9 or 10, somewhere around there. I mean, I've seen people get shot, but I'm talking about actually murdered in front of my face.
So you seen
I
somebody
was
get
in my,
murdered in front of you at 9 years
oh,
old?
multiple times, dog.
What?
Like,
Take me through one of the situations.
I remember I was playing outside in some apartments I used to live in, right? And I'm chilling. I used to jump this wall all the time. And I'd be running and jump a wall. It'd be like, oh, if I ever get chased by the cops, I'm gonna fucking hit this wall, boom, boom, boom. And, you know, and I jumped this wall one day, and these vatos are arguing in this alley. So I hit the wall. When I get to the top of the wall, all I seen was boom, boom, boom. Fucking homie got laid out. Homie saw me, but I fucking jumped off the wall and took off running and shit, you know? And fucking cops came and all that shit. They were asking, like, you know how it is. And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, that's the first time I ever saw somebody get laid out like that, just straight, completely dead and shit, you know?
Wow.
But,
So at 9 years old, you see somebody get killed. Were you scared at that age? Were you thinking like these dudes might come for me because they
nah,
see
yeah,
me?
yeah, that was a thought in my head, but I mean, it's not something that I have never seen before. You know, I've seen shit since I've been a little kid, though. Like, you know how you grow up around that shit when you're in the hood and all that shit. You grow up, you're kind of immune to it. You know, that's just the first time I ever saw somebody get domed like that. That was crazy. At that age, I remember I was like, fuck. I mean, it didn't traumatize me or anything, but that was the first time I ever somebody get domed like that.
What'd your family say to you when that
Shut the fuck
happened?
up, don't say nothing, you don't know nothing, you fucking talk, I'm gonna beat your ass. That's about it, dog. It wasn't no, oh, mijo, you know, it's okay, none of that shit. It was just like, hey, you say something, I'm gonna beat your ass kind of thing, you know? Which is how it should be. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Which is how
yeah,
it should be. That's the that's the right way to go about it. Fuck.
right.
To think back now, huh? It's kind of a trip to think back, and that's how you grow up. That's how you're raised. But as it should be, mind your own business and keep going about your own shit. You know.
Do you have any other stories that you could share from when you were a kid?
Man, I have so many stories. It's like about people getting killed. I mean, it's unrealistic the amount of stories that I have, but I mean, there's a lot. I remember this one time. I was living in some apartments in Colton, right? It's off Rancho and Mill, and I was just walking around, and I used to chill with the security guard and shit. You know, I used to chill with the security guard, smoke a little weed right there. He always had a little bit of weed for me and shit. I think I was about 11 or 12 or something. I'm pretty sure I was in junior high, you know? And I remember one day he was just like, hey, G, here goes a couple bowls of weed right here. Just watch out whenever a car comes in, open the door, take the name down, and, you know, let them go through and shit. And so I tell him, all right, cool, go ahead and go do what you're doing. And I'm right there just smoking and shit and fucking. Then this guy comes up to the fucking security booth and he's just like, hey, where's so-and-so at? I was like, oh, he bounced this way. And right when homie came to ask me where so-and-so, he takes like 3 steps away. Some vato comes from around the car, don't even know who homie is or what the fucking beef was. Walked up to him and just fucking domed that fool right in front of me. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I mean, I seen this fool's fucking brains just blah. And I was like, God damn, dog. Like, just, this fool's body just, like some shit. It was worse than you see in the movies. You know, they're all dramatic, boom, before they fall. This fool just went limp, like, right away. I was like, God damn. And then my first instinct was, I ain't getting caught here, so I fucking go look. And I was like, this fool's dead. There ain't nothing I can do. And I fucking took off running, dog. I was just like, went home, was like, Mom, they smoked this fool over here. She was like, close the fucking door, go to sleep. You don't know nothing. And I was just like, man, that one, seeing that shit had me for a couple weeks, just like replaying that shit in my memory, dog. I was like, man, that shit was crazy. Even when I was older, dog, I was at this park. No, I was at this party. I was with the homies and shit. It was me, my hyena, like a gang of homies from the hood. We're at this party, dog. And I'm thinking I'm about, let me see, maybe 17, something like that. I mean, at this point, I've already done my own fair share, but this was a crazy fucking shit, you know? So we're chilling with fucking at this party and we're kicking it and shit, and we're talking to these people, and some people get in an argument, and one of the vatos takes off outside and he's arguing. He's like, fuck you guys, I'm coming back. And we're just looking at him like, man, get the fuck out of here. You got kicked out. Maybe about 5-10 minutes later, I'm like, look, I don't know why. I was high, dog. I used to get high before. I don't get high anymore, but I was high. And when I get high, I just be zoning out. And I'm looking out the gate. I'm in this party and I'm looking out the gate and I see this vato walking in. And I tell the homies like, hey, that vato got kicked out. He's right here with it. He had like a trench coat on. And this vato's walking into the party, dog. And I'm like, watching every fucking move he's doing, dog. And the vato that he was arguing with is right next to us in the middle of us. And me and my homies are right here talking. So he's like right here behind us. Me and my homies are talking and shit. And I see this vato and I push my homie like, hey, back up. And these vatos try to go that way. And I grab my hyena and we turn around. Because when I see this vato walking up, he comes out of the trench coat with like a fucking gauge, dog. This fool cocks it. And my homies, they fucking try to run that way, but they hit the wall and they were stuck. But my hyena was right there with me, so I grabbed her and we fucking, I grabbed her and we hit the crowd and tried to get out. Like we stumbled and hit the ground, got up and we're walking. This vato, and I turned around right before I go inside the house. This vato shot him, bam, and I don't even know how the fuck this fool was still fucking moving after that. He got hit, and I shit you not, this fool got hit, but while he was going down, he pulled a strap out and hit that fool, dog. Bam! Both of them were laid out. I was like, what the fuck? That was some shit you really do see in the movies, dog. Because after you get hit with a gauge, how the fuck you still dump back? You know what I mean? That fool got hit. They were both laid out. I was like, man, that's probably like the most craziest shit I've ever seen. Not saying like, oh, I haven't seen anything more crazy, but just think about that shit. This vato gets blasted with the gauge.
Did they both die?
Yeah, they both died, dog. Before he hit the fucking ground, this vato pulls out, dumps on this fool. That vato, they're both laid out. And I read in the papers like a couple days later that both of them were dead, dog. That's some shit right there. I ain't never seen no shit like that. That was some movie shit, some Hollywood shit right there.
Damn, that was some movie shit, man.
Yeah, hey, hit me up. I'll write a script for you guys. We'll make a movie about that one.
You don't need no. You know exactly how motherfuckers will be acting.
Hell yeah, I'll write you a good script and we'll make a good movie about that right there. But yeah, man, I've seen a lot of shit, you know? Been a part of a lot of shit. The thing my eyes have seen, dog. The thing my eyes have seen.
So how did this affect you? Seeing these killings and this poverty and everything, how did this affect you, man?
You know what? Most people would have a negative effect on, you know? It would have either traumatizing or it makes you attracted to this, you know? Me, I guess I was the opposite, dog. I can't say I wasn't a badass or I was not a troublemaker. I was. I'm not going to sit here and say I was a saint. But there was a point, like, in my life where I just look back like, man, I got to stop. You know, I can't do this anymore. I got to change. And ever since then, dog, I've been trying to do my best. Like I said, I can't say I was a saint. Even now, I can't say I'm a saint, dog. I can't say I don't get into shit and I don't. It is what it is. It's in my blood. It's where I come from. But, I mean, I try my best to steer clear and be as cool as possible.
So at first it affected you to where you were getting into a lot of shit.
Yeah, because after a while, you don't give a fuck. Like, you're just like, whatever. You know, you become immune to that shit. You're like, whatever. It is what it is. You don't care about it. Like, somebody pulling a gun out anywhere, some people react like, oh shit, let me get the fuck out of here, and they're running. Me, I'm looking to see where that gun's getting pointed. You know what I mean? Like, I have to look and make sure we're okay. If my brother's there or anybody's there with me, especially my brother, though, I'm like, where's my brother at? That's the first thing. Anybody that knows me, I'm looking for my brother. Other than that, you know, it just makes you think different. It makes you move different, you know, being a part of that shit. Somebody pulls a gun out, I'm not the type to just fucking take off running. Somebody pulls a gun out, I'm looking to see where the gun's pointed, who they're pointing it at, you know? What I'm looking, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? You know, like, I mean, it helps you and it goes against you. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, it did fucking make me immune to it and made me turned on to it. I mean, you know how you are when you're a kid, dog. That shit fucking boils in your blood and it gives you a rush and you want more of it, you know? But then when you get older, I think especially after I had a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with all that.
So what do you think was like the final, was there any defining moment in your life where you were just like, man, I can't do this no more?
Yeah, but I can't talk about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's a couple of them fucking things. Obviously, it didn't stop at one moment, but there was a couple things that I was like, yeah.
You got to change, or you just know
Yeah.
you're like, you know,
Yeah.
it's not going to end good for you.
Exactly. Shit follows you, dog, you know?
Right.
There's
Okay.
just certain moments in your life you remember, and it's like, yeah, that was a close one.